Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to the Glory Hunter Save. It's episode 2. It is the opening day of the Premier League. We have Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in one of the harder opening days you're going to get in the Premier League. Since we last met, we have actually made a couple of signings, we made a couple of transfers on the out, and you can definitely straight away see our finances have definitely changed. At one point, we did peak out at 95 million. There's 38 million in the transfer budget. And you're thinking, Damien, did you sell Declan Rice? No, I did not. But who did you sell? Did you sell Bowen? No. We just got big money for players that aren't worth what they're worth. Anyhow, as you can see here, let's go straight away and talk about the outs. And the top two just here. Sayed Benrahma, correct. 30 million to Brighton. I don't know why. I transfer listed him had a value of 23 to 28 mil, and I was like, he's not worth that either. It's just inflation because he had a decent year last year. Have a look at his star ratings. Have a look at the scout report. He's a leading championship player. I listed him up for 30 mil as a joke because it was so long in the season. I always recommend you do that, by the way. At the start of the window, put over what they're worth in the transfer market, because if someone actually nibbles, you go, oh, okay, we're going to get more than expected, and then you just work your way down till someone bites, right? 30 mil. Brighton said, yeah, Southampton said 7.5 mil. We laughed that out. And yeah, look, I can't believe it. I would have taken 20. So yeah. Same thing happened with Antonio at 13 to 60 mil. I loaned him out. I asked for 20. Brighton turned around and said, we'll give you 11. I said, jokingly, okay, negotiation, 19, because it's only 1 mil left. And they said yes. So between two players that have gone both to Brighton, we have sold two guys that would have been backups. Antonio would have been third choice for 49 million. 49 million. That is a lot of money. Then you're thinking, Damien, who did you bring in? Two players here. Both will be starters moving forward. However, only one of them is going to start today, and there's a couple of reasons. Firstly, Marcus Thuram. Great player, was leaving Mönchengladbach on a free. We needed a left winger to either provide good rotation or back up for Fornals and fight at that level or surpass him. I think Thuram has just got that bit more dynamism in his play. He's a bit more direct, a bit more of, I'm going to get in behind and get at goal, where Fornals is a bit more of a creator. I don't mind that from Fornals, but I feel like having the two contrasting styles is good. One guy that we can bring in to create, one guy that we can bring in either to go at teams. I think Thuram will get the initial start, and that's because he had a decent preseason, which I will recap in a second, and as well as that, has that potential to probably outgrow Fornals being a bit younger. So to bring him in is great. Secondly, the fee is only 10.5 million, and I saw Benrahma for 30. That's great profit for the football club. Puts me in a position where if we keep the money in the club, we could get even more money to spend next year if we have a good year and we want to stay a second season. With that being said there too, 2.5 mil was only up front. So only 2.5 mil came out the budget this year. The rest is over 3 years, plus a little bit if he scores 30 goals, which could take a couple of years. So Marcus Thuram, bang. Then there's Caleb Okolie. I will say we probably need a centre-back for right now. Finding that centre-back's quite hard. I was tempted to go for Lacroix and, or LaRox. Have you pull in there? Is it O? There we are. Maxine, there we are. Reason why I was tempted is 34 mil is transfer release fee. I have that money. He's probably the more of the here and now. He's not exactly there yet, but he's ready. I'm going to leave him a year. Now, this could come back to bite me. Reason why I'm going to leave him a year is he might go there and play very well at Wolfsburg and pick up a move to a bigger club elsewhere, and maybe we'll end up there one day, firstly. Secondly, as much as we could have brought him in right now, that would have limited me to not being able to sign anyone else for the team. And I think the team still needs one or two more players. So as to not go for Maxine LaRoix or Lacroix or however, I went for Caleb. Under 22, so the board are extremely happy we signed him. Only paid 11 mil up front plus 8 mil over 3 years to get him in. So, yeah, that 18.5 million, 30%, whatever he sells on for, of profit, that's not going to be me. It's the next manager's worry. Why did you bring him in? Look how many 13s and 14s are around. He isn't going to start today because I think to go to the guy who only joined 7 days ago without playing a preseason, many of these boys that go, here, start against Chelsea would just be murder. I think by the end of this season, there's a world where all those physicals bar probably balance are at 15. And, that's a great physical centre-back. Lest we forget, he's also got 14 heading and tackling, 15 marking, and he's got some 14s in the mentals. There's a world where if we're going to stay a second season, and I'm sort of planning that there will be probably at least the start of a second season here at West Ham, depending on how good this first season goes, I think this is a guy that this year maybe it will have a little bit more rotation with Kera. I think next year with development, this guy is our best centre-back. And that's correct. Well, Kurt Zuma's in his next level. But yeah, this guy will definitely be the number 2 by a mile. In terms of the squad, looks like that. That is what I'm going to play on the opening day, though. It is 2 reasons why it's Emerson and Keller. They, Tilio had a great preseason. His preseason was averaging a 7.53, which leads into preseason. Clean sheet against Coventry, beat Bristol, clean sheet against Valencia, clean sheet against Watford, clean sheet against Benfica, clean sheet against Anderlecht, clean sheet against Atlanta. The boys really like the 4-3-3. And I think that's very much down to the midfield being outrageously good. And Kurt Zouma marshals the boys well. I don't care how much Real Madrid want him for. I need 110 to 150 million because then I'll sign Lacroix and then I'll sign other players. And then that leads me to my second point. What else do you need? Well, I have a decent striker and I have a Skamaka, so we could technically go down the route of find someone leading. But I think right back. I feel like if you found a right back that's better than Kafau, you could loan Ben Johnson out for a year and start that really world-class right back or that really good right back. Even if it's someone that's like been in the league before. I'm trying to think of maybe a James Justin or Walker Peters, who FM seems to love. Even a Tyreek Lamptey, if we could get him a bit cheaper. Someone like that has got a little bit more about him at right back. I still think Kafau's great, don't get me wrong. But I think if he's your backup, you're in a good spot. That leads the team as is, which is great. Good preseason, very tough chance. In terms of the Conference League, which will be next episode, we're not going to do Brighton, which I know we didn't mention. We did have to get through qualifying. I was hoping to get an easier draw, not going to lie. VTSC, obviously Portuguese side, very good. Obviously they haven't played a game to the 18th, and Panathinaikos is Panathinaikos, good side as well. They're not loaded into a league because I haven't loaded them. But yeah, so look, good preseason, signed some good players. Not going to be at 100% full strength for Chelsea, but that's fine. Opening day, Graham Potter's first game in charge of Chelsea in terms of the database as well. It'd be interesting to see what we can do. Now, in terms of the season preview, we did say they were 10th last time. They still reckon I'm 10th. They still reckon that I'm not going to play Declan Rice in the middle of the park, which is odd. But yeah, look, I think we're in a good spot. We are the first game of the season, the first match day of the season on the Friday night at Stamford Bridge. All eyes are on us. It is going to be Fabianski in goal with Kufau, Zuma, and Tilio Kera will move to ball-playing defender once we're in the system. Emerson out at left back because Krezel's had that little bit of a knock. His first preseason game back was on the Atlanta game off the bench, and I'm planning to use him off the bench again. Declan Rice, Pasquetta, and Suyacek are the most important 3 players at the football club. Bowen had a pretty good preseason. So did Tarum, so did Danny Ings. So hopefully they're the guys that are going to be all right. Caleb is going to wear the number 23 because I signed him. And let's get into it. We are live on Twitch. Links down below. Come follow us live. If you've enjoyed the Glory Hunter and that little bit of a breakdown of what we've done with the squad, give it a like. Subscribe to the YouTube channel because it lets me know that I'm doing a good job. And lastly, before we get into this, let me know who you think I should have signed here in Season 1 with West Ham as well. Now, they've got to start Mendy over Kepa. I would say Kepa in real life would start. But yeah, look, no pressure on you today. I'm going to actually take the pressure off because I think without the pressure, the boys will maybe play that a little bit better. Let's have a look at their lining up. 4-2-3-1, Havertz in the middle. Guys like looking at stats, so have a look. Havertz, Felix is Joe Felix, he's elite. Mason Mount's elite. Raheem Sterling's elite. Kovacic, obviously not injured in real life. And Kante's Kante. Ben Chilwell. Thiago Silva we need to get at because of the lack of pace. Koulibaly, though, will have that. And Reece James is fit, which is a shock. But yeah, good bench. Cucurella on the bench. Peric Aubameyang, Enzo Fernandez, who they just signed. There's 100 and something million there. Obviously in the database, I haven't updated database, it doesn't say, but we know how much they spent. But yeah, here we are. Tunnel. It's a big day. It's a special day. Goals mid matches. It's important to put in a good performance for sure. Stamford Bridge. And away we're going to go. Would happily snap your hand off for a 0-0 draw, not going to lie. I know we've only conceded, 1 goal or 2 goals in pre-season? I think Chelsea at Stamford Bridge is a bit of a different kettle of fish. People may ask what camera I'm using. Just pause and have a look there. I find it easier to keep a tactical bird's eye view whilst being in the 3D match engine as Danny Ings has pressed and won the ball. Declan Rice. Suyacek's quick enough to go here. Gets in the area. Went for goal and he's hit the bar. Wow, what a move. Well won back by Danny Ings in the middle of the park. That's what you get from Danny Ings. He's a look, I'm personally thinking in real life his best roles are pressing forward. But he's very good. 22 minutes played, 0-0. Mendy. And they're going to play out because it's Chelsea, of course they will. And Chilwell. I'm going to look to come across here. And good positioning there from Kufau to make sure Joe Felix didn't get in behind, which is great. Kovacic's with a great ball and have it so he can control the game and link others. And Joe Felix now need to stand him up, but that's a good ball to Mount. Numbers queuing. Mason Mount. Joe Felix, that's probably a penalty. Bowen's first involvement this season is to give away a penalty. I think that will be a pen. Well, Fabianski, you're going to have a chance to be a hero in episode number 2. Penalty given. I believe that was a pen. VAR doing VAR things. Bowen to give it away. Fabianski here against the Mason Mount. He's not a great penalty taker, to be fair. Scores that one. In real life, Mount's not particularly good. But takes it there for Chelsea and they go 1-0 up. 27 minutes played, or 26 in a bit. And 1-0 down to a penalty in a very even game, to be fair. Feel like we've played okay. If we're going to concede goals that only set, penalties and set pieces, we'll be all right this year. But yeah, does mean we need to find something. Can't afford to go 2-0 down right now, though. Conte, Raheem Sterling knows how to hit him. Well done, Emerson. And I tell you what, Bowen could have got there first as well. And with Thiago Silva not being that quick, if he did, you would imagine we were going to get in. Raheem Sterling cuts one. Mason Mount 2-0. Well. Yet again, a little half moment. You think, we're in here. No. Pre-season's been good, but that's not great. Don't concede a third. Could be our highlight, though, so who knows. Zuma, Luis Pasquetta. That's the thing. We need to believe. New system will be okay. It's a tough opening day. Important not to get pumped. But yeah, Emerson bombing on, which is good. Luis Pasquetta, Thuram. Backstick ball, Bowen. That's going to count. Great ball for Marcus Thuram on his debut. And Bowen, after giving away the penalty, scores at the back stick. It's 2-1. Right on half-time. There's still life in West Ham. Good from Emerson. Good run. Good from Pasquetta. Great touch. I expected Thuram to nearly shoot, but he did cross. And Bowen finds the back of the net. And that is fantastic. And if you have a look at the stats, we've been the better side. 7 shots to Chelsea's 3-2. I know they've had more possession, but we've kind of in the 4-3 marshalled it, which, for those that don't know this 4-3, it is a possession-based system, but in the bigger games, I feel comfortable in it because even without the ball, we marshal the ball really well, as in marshal the opposition. The only thing I will say is we play on a higher line, which sometimes hurts, but nature of the beast on FM. Anyway, Declan Rice, that would never happen. Declan Rice is too good of a player to just apparently forget where the ball is and run into people. What a tackle from Pasquetta. And it's not even a foul, but yeah. It's not even in the box. What? Sorry, but what? In what world is this in the box? If there's contact made, it's outside the area, as you can tell from here. It's not even close to being in the box, and he's won the ball. But okay, game. About to be 3-1 down to 2 penalties. No, we're not, because Fabianski's a go. Need to get up now and make sure we trap Mason Mount. Reece James, get it away. Well done, Fabianski. Very underserved from FM there. Never a penalty, never a foul, and was never in the box. But yeah, Danny Ings, though. For half a second, we got excited. Set piece, Bowen. Got some height. Tilio Kera, Mendy, it's in. I don't know how. It's an own goal. We'll take it. Thiago Silva, great save from Mendy on the goal line. And in the kerfuffle of the mess, I reckon Chilwell was cleared it into Silva. We'll take it. Penalty down 1 for 3-1. Now it's 2-2. Mendy, great save. Yes, it was. Chilwell tried to get it off the line and kicked it straight into Mendy. It's one of those ones where, look, the graphics and the match engine haven't talked to each other. The match engine is saying this highlight should be a goal, which should have just been a header and in. And the graphics engine didn't know how to compute it, so that's what ensued. FM23 is still broken and we're in late Feb. It's not good. We've been the better side. It's 2-2. We've been the better side. Pasquetta. Great ball there. Oh, poor, unlucky. Emerson, all he had to do was pick it up. We were in there. Pasquetta wins it. Ings is offside and didn't even hit the target, which is odd. We are going to make some changes here, though. Danny Ings, oh, don't do it now. Never do it before a highlight. Need to get that away, Tilio. He's had a pretty good game, to be fair. I know he's on a 6.1, but I feel like he's played well. Kafau now. Our movement side to side is superb there. And Kafau can bomb on. And he's still going. And he's still going. We don't need a right back if he's doing this. Bowen, Ings came. Look, if you gave the other penalties, that's a pen. VAR has given 3 penalties already. Or 2. We've seen 3 VAR highlights in the first game of the season, which means it's going to be a long year. Penalty given. Suyacek is a goat from the spot. We could come back from 2-0 down to lead 3-2 here. Deep breath. Suyacek versus Mendy. Thumps it in, and from 2-0 down, West Ham lead 3-2 at Stamford Bridge. Superb. A fantasy Premier League assist for Danny Ings. That won't count to his stats, but there we are. We are going to make some changes though. Danny Ings is out for Skamaka, who's going to come as a complete forward to help link up play. And we are going to get Emerson out for Creswell to get some minutes, and Caleb is in for Tilio Kera. Marcus Thuram also looking dead. I'm going to make that change too. Marcus Thuram for Fornals. Inverted winger on support because he's very creative. And that leaves one last change, which I will make very late doors as a time-wasting change. Time ticks. We lead 3-2 at Stamford Bridge in the first game of Glory Hunter. This is massive. We've been the better side. XG very inflated because 2 penalties for Chelsea and 1 for us. 0.9 XG is what Chelsea get per penalty. So the fact they've had 2 XG basically, 1.8 from the 2.45 from pens. Interesting. Chilwell, Havertz, Blot, Mount, fucking jammy. 3-3. Look, if you offered me a point before the game, I would have taken it. There's still time to go. I think with that coming in there, Lanzini is going to come in there. Proceed with the change. Lanzini could apply a moment of magic. Look. Oh, no. Bowen injured in the last minute. That's not good. I would have taken a free without Bowen getting injured, who's arguably one of our most important players. Now we've got to worry. Played well. If VAR wasn't VAR, maybe we win. But at the same stage, VAR gave us a pen too. Look, if that's what we're going to play like, that's fine. It does annoy me that we could, a clean sheet bar 1 or 2 games in pre-season. Then first game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, we shit 3. And 2 of them could have been pens. One's a pen and one's really jammy at the end where it's a ball in the box that is shot falls to Mount. But it is what it is. I'm happy with the draw. We held our own. That's a big draw against a big club. If we're drawing away to the likes of Chelsea, I'm very interested to see what we can do at home. So that is something to build upon. Look, there we are. We edged it, I thought. They'll learn from that, to be fair. We didn't get a question about Bowl. We're going to go straight there. He's out for 2 weeks. That's not good. That's not good. Bowen's out for 2 weeks. And we're going to end the episode by doing this. He had a good game than Mount. I'll throw it back on them. I'm not going to talk about players. I want me to look at Michael Marino. Look, to be fair, how much do they want for him? 21 mil. Good midfielder as well. But there we are. All right, next episode here, YouTube, is going to be VTSC, Panathinaikos, whoever it is, at the London Stadium. That will be next episode because it does depend a lot on this season. It all depends on us going on a deep run in the Conference League. If we don't get through the Conference League, it was a big bloody gamble that did not pay off to be West Ham. But anyhow, free draw on the opening day. I'll see you guys next time for next episode. If you've enjoyed today, give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we're within 2 minutes of coming back from 2-0 down to beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Think that is a promising start. See you then. Thank you and goodbye.